Hey everybody, this is chapter 5, and this is your hardest chapter of the whole semester. Chapter 5 in Access is a little difficult, but nothing like this one. And you're probably going to need to pause and back up this video a few times to get this assignment correct or done. So just take it slow, and we'll work through this together. Alright, so the first thing on the lists worksheet, we're going to name a bunch of things. So I'm going to come over here to A2, to A6, and name this department. Be sure to hit enter after you've entered the name in the name box. Or you can come up to formulas and define name here. And then A14 to B18. I'll do it that way. Define name. This is called grade scale. And then B9 to H9 is called day. Week. And then we're going to take E1 or E2. Let's see, what does it say? E1 to I5. E1 to I5. And we're going to create from selection. And then it will name it based on the top row or the left column. And we just want to say top row. Now, if you look at your name manager, you've got all these different names that we just did. So I've got public affairs, human resources, admissions, accounting, financial aid, and then I've got department, day of week, and the grade scale. Alright, and then we're going to go to our call data worksheet, and we're going to select, in A9, we're actually going to make it a table. So you're going to make sure you're in A9, and then you're going to insert table. Now, it wants to know, does our table have headers? And yes, it does, so I want to make sure I keep that checked. And then now we're going to add some info to our table. So we're going to type in issue, grade, and weekday. Oh, I need to style it, sorry. So make sure you're in your table somewhere. Go to our type table tools, design, and we're going to select light 1. Okay. Now we're step 4. We're going to select the A9 through J128. And I'm going to come into my formulas and define name. Now you notice down here it says table all. Well, we need to let's change this for now. Call data all. And then down here we also need to change this to A9 and then F4, or function F4 if you're on a PC. J128 and function F4 again, and then click OK. Now you need to go into your name manager and just double check that call data all is pointing to A9 to J128. If it's not, then you need to check it or change it here. And when you change it here, the green check mark comes up. So if I were to change this, notice now I have the green check mark, or I can cancel. Okay, so after you've changed it, you'll have to hit the check mark. Okay, so select this again. Sorry, I shouldn't have unselected it. Okay, so A9 through J128, you're selecting again. And this time we're going to create from selection. So this is the second part of step 4. Create name from values in the top row. So basically what we're going to do is make a table that's just this information, all this. Okay, just separate tables. Okay. If we look at our name manager again, now we've got a whole lot more than we did. And that's how many you should have. If you don't have that, back up or reread the instructions and get those in there, because it will affect your the rest of this assignment. Okay, so in the past we have used a VLOOKUP. And a VLOOKUP works great if I only have one thing changing. So if I was looking up 1, 2, 3, 4, or my satisfaction rating, like we're going to use a VLOOKUP for this table. Because we don't have anything changing across the top. So here we have a variable here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have a variable across the top, financial aid, admissions, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we need to use something called an index. So we're going to index and match, but we're actually going to use an indirect. We're going to index this table, actually this table, this table, this table, this table, this table, and looking at a particular row. So here we're going to say index. And then our array, we don't know what table name. Remember I showed you that we have accounting, public affairs, admissions, financial aid. All those are separate tables. But it all changes. Each one of these change. So we're going to indirectly use, we're going to use C10 as my array. Okay, so whatever's here becomes my table that I go look up. And then the row that I want is going to be based on this column, the reason that it happened. Okay, so this is using accounting as my table and go down however many rows that it says right here. So what happened is it came over here and found accounting. That's the whole table. And it went down to 1, 2, and grabbed internet. Okay, and dropped it back in here. Now we notice we've got zeros in some of this stuff, right? So we want to get rid of that. So typically when you have to do an if,